fucking cruelty, man. That's half a body, lad. I can't read about like the death of children, like, you know what I mean? Callan, grab. Grab. Yes. Akun bong susadai. Akun. So, if this is the type of vlog that you want to see me go crazy, or like funny and joking and that, this isn't the type of vlog, people. This is one of the worst recent genocides in human history. And if I am going to live in this country, as you all know, I've got a visa here, I've got an apartment here. If you're new to the channel, then this isn't not what I normally do. I didn't even want to vlog this. I didn't even want to like put this on video. I just wanted to go there to see and learn about the country that I'm going to live in, which I think you should respect the culture anyway of any country you go to. So, but then I've seen other vloggers do it and I've had a look online, and you are allowed, but you have to be respectful, and I'm going to be respectful anyway. I wouldn't go to a place like this joking and laughing. So YouTube, I just want to make this clear now, I am not glorifying torture, I am not glorifying I don't even know, a genocide. I am not glorifying anything. I am literally showing this as documentative as I can. This is a completely different type and style of video that I normally do for you people, but I mentioned it in a previous vlog and a lot of people didn't even know what I was on about, and it was like, this only happened in the 1970s, people, 50 years ago. There's people still alive today that experienced this. This man here looks about 60 years old. Guarantee his mother, his father, somebody in his family 100% will have been involved in this. There was a man named Pol Pot who became like the leader of Cambodia, and he was obsessed with the communism regime like in China. He wanted everybody to follow strict rules and follow against him, follow his orders, whatever he said. Now, because we're European, well, I'm Western, I'm English, we learn about Hitler. And now that's completely different. In Asia, like, I'm speaking to people and they don't even know who Hitler is. So like, I think this is kind of their genocide, if you know what I mean. So this is going to be as informative as I can. There's going to be a lot of stuff I'm going to have to blur out, people, because he killed 1 in every 4 people. He wiped out 2 million people in like the space of like 3 years. 2 million people of his own people, just because they wouldn't follow the regime. These people, there's not as many now, because obviously the 70s, they would have been a bit older then, now the 60s, 70s, but you still see old people now. You see people now in the streets walking around with 1 arm, 1 leg, limbs missing off, and they were part of the regime. So the people were part of the Khmer Rouge. So say the Khmer Rouge is like the Nazis, okay? People were part of the Khmer Rouge, and I'm trying to think myself, but I'm not that clued up on it, people. I'm not gonna lie, I was just going there to learn myself. I didn't do this for the vlog, I done this for myself. So it was a Khmer Rouge, and they were basically just, they were basically just like capturing their own people, killing them, torturing them, and all things like that. And they wanted to just become like China, they wanted to become communism, and it's crazy, it's crazy. Do you speak English, Bong? English? No? No, I'm not even gonna try and ask him about it, because he's just gonna hear the name Pol Pot. That was the fella's name, Pol Pot. And it even got that bad. It got that bad, like it was his own people, that the Vietnamese after the war had to come in and invade the country to stop it. Anyone was part of the Khmer Rouge, when the Vietnamese invaded, they went to Thailand, and then they come back to like fight back. So they were still part of it, and they were fighting back against the Vietnamese. So that it got that bad, when the Vietnamese war ended, the Vietnam had to put a stop to it. That's how bad it got. Imagine a country getting that mad that your neighboring country has to say, hang on a minute, this is cruelty what you're doing, and it really is cruel. So apologise if I'm not maybe top jokey self. We are still doing Cambodia top to bottom. I was going to do this on my own, but I think it would be good for people who didn't know. So if you're watching this now and you don't have a clue and you're like, wow, what is this about? This is exactly why I'm doing it. Raising awareness, basically. And I wanted to learn myself. So do not forget to subscribe, like and comment. We are doing Cambodia top to bottom. This is the most informative video I'm ever going to do, or I've done. This is not my type of video at all, but this is just me showing my respect for the country that I now live in. This is me now showing respect. This happened in the 70s, people. That was 50 years ago. Like 50 years ago. That's not even long. Like, my mum was born in like 77. Do you know what I mean? That's crazy, crazy. So we're gonna go there now. We're gonna like learn off the boards. There's a place called the Genocide Museum. I think it's S21. That gives you all the information. And then we're gonna go to the killing fields, which is like the mass graves of the children, the women, the men, everybody. Yeah. So be prepared, people. If you don't want to watch it, if it's gonna be upsetting to you, then I'd advise you to turn it off, but it is part of human history at the end of the day. They haven't cleaned it up, they don't mind you vlogging, they want you to spread awareness, and they haven't tried to make it like half and half, like cleaned it up, liquor paint and all that. No, they've kept it how it was to show you actually how bad it become. So, right, let's get into this. As you can see, people, it's in the bang center of Phnom Penh. Now, I've been to Auschwitz and that. I have been there when I was younger, when I went to Krakow. I've been to Auschwitz, and it's far away, people, like that. This is like, every day people live here. They go to work, whatever they do, they will go past here. They will go past here. And it's bang on in the center of the city. This is crazy. They have not tried to hide anything. They have tried to tell you, look at what happened to our people. Look at what we have gone through. And he was killing people people who wore glasses. He was killing them just because he thought they were intelligent. He was cutting off limbs of people. It was the most brutal genocide in recent times, and maybe even in human history. And we don't even hear about it, people. Like, what the fuck? They should teach this stuff in school, man. You know what I mean? Here it is. Like, bong, akun bong, okay? Have a good day. Akun. Yeah, I'll give you a little tip for it. I think I need to get a ticket. Just feels that area, man. So here is the map. Here is the map, building D, building C, 18. I'm not too sure if this is where I am now or this is the killing fields, because it's two separate places. Please enter the stop number in your audio player, so you can listen to our audio. You can also join a tour if you want to. Outside BS21 torture prison, the inside photographs of leaders behind the organisation, which would be the Khmer Rouge, the faces of Angkor, photographs catastrophe in Phnom Penh, back to year 010, photographs S21. 21 staff, young and dangerous. ID tags, people become numbers. People have no names, they become numbers. The photographs, angry shirts for the loved one, the shackles are all kept there, creating an image for Pol Pot, documenting death without medicine. Inside building D is all the equipment. Oh, so it's all the equipment. A child watches his mother photographed in paintings. Torture rules. Phnom Penh in ruins. Large photographs of mass graves, skulls, maps, analysis, evidence outside the memorial. Okay. A warning for all humanity. An ambassador speaks outside. Signboard seeking justice. So without the audio is $10, and with the audio is $5. But I have a little bit of thingy anyway. I've watched a few videos. Shout out Spanian. Shout out Rama. They were pretty informative themselves. So building A, previously you can find him a high-ranking commander Pol Pot exhibition of his last genocide. Mass detention is on the second floor. Individual cells on the ground floor and first floors, mass detention on the second floor. Now exhibition of former cells, vestige of the Pol Pot regime. Now exhibition of photos of the S-21 victims. So as you can see, they've not even like tried to be like, let's put a lick of paint on this for tourism, let's like brighten this up. They've literally just been like, this is it. This is what we have gone through. The discipline of security, these must be the rules. Number one, you must answer according to my question, don't turn them away. Number two, don't try hide the facts by making excuses about this or that. You are strictly prohibited to contradict me. You are strictly prohibited to contradict me. Number three, don't pretend to be ignorant if you are a chap who dares to thwart the revolution. So don't follow, you have to follow. Number four, you must answer my question immediately without wasting time to reflect. So anyone who asks you a question, whether it be an officer or him himself, you have no thinking process, you cannot stutter. Number five, don't go on about your minor mistakes or infringements of the moral code or on the essence of the revolution, so you can't speak against the regime. While getting lashes or electrification, you must absolutely not scream or cry out. Number seven, do nothing, sit still and wait for my order. If there is no order, keep quiet, and when I tell you to do something, you must do it right away without protesting. Without getting lashes or electrification, absolutely must scream or cry out. But then, that goes against the other rule. So if you scream or then cry out, you have then disobeyed one of the rules of the regime, so then you are now getting more lashes and shocks. So you're just going round in a loop until you be quiet or until they just kill you. Don't make pretext about Kampuche Krom in order to hide secrets or your betrayal. So yeah, like that, no inside groups. If you don't scrumptiously, I'm sorry to be like, I'm an idiot and I'm trying to do this and that, but I am quite stupid. Scrupulously follow all of the above rules, you shall get many lashes or electric shocks. For every infringement, you get 10 lashes or 5 shocks. So if you get 10 lashes and 5 shocks, and you cry out, you then get another 10 lashes and 5 shocks. You are not allowed to make a sound at all. And there are the rules written there. That must have been a picture of the rules of the regime when you come in. Everybody must have got shown the rules. Now these are meant to be individual cells. The first one, Building A, contains 3 stories divided into 20 cells. The first one has 10 cells used for jailing, interrogating and torturing the prisoners who had been the high officials. Oh, so they took over. They took over the previous government. The second and third ones have 5 big cells each, used for the same purpose as on the first story, torturing and interrogating prisoners. Nowadays there are a lot of evidence remaining in all of the cells which prove the atrocities of Pol Pot cliche. So they haven't changed anything really. They might have like got rid of things, but they haven't changed anything. Bro, I can't even show this on YouTube. I can't. That's half a body, lad. One of the last 14 killed prisoners. Name of the prisoner unknown. Vietnamese photographer. So when the Vietnamese come in, obviously they took over. To this day, the museum still does not know the exact room in which this photo was taken. It's half a body. It's a fella with half a body. Object removed for conservation. That must have been the pillow. And these are the chains, these are the shackles that they put on your hands or your wrists. And then obviously there's the ammo. But like, I doubt they had a fan and the light when you were captured here. I doubt they had open windows and stuff like that. I doubt they had plug sockets, people, do you understand? I think this is here just for the tourism. Prisoners detained in this room. So they have every number of name of prisoner. Ages range from 25. Males, all male. See, if this was me joking, I'd be like, no boom boom, my lord, but brother. I've been to Auschwitz and that, like I said, and you see stuff there, but that is graphic. That is completely graphic.
You didn't get the guys up there.
So all this bottom floor, like it said, were the cells, and in each room they will have a photograph on the wall. I can't show this, I cannot show this on YouTube, people. I can't show, I'm not stupid, it will get banned. But the limb has been cut off, and you can see a direct space between the limb. So they've just like tortured him, just took a photograph. Male. Yeah, so all these bottom ones must have been for male prisoners. It's saying if here no photographs, so I'm gonna go in and I'm gonna respect it. Childhood without colour. Children forced to slave camper. Temporary exhibition of printmaking memories. I think they've like not modernised it, I'm not saying that, but I think they must have spruced it up a bit. For this to be like a proper genocide, to be like a torture place, and like, I think they must have cleaned up a bit, people. They have to have been. For that to happen, 2 million people in 3 years, 25% of the population, that's all you know of as well. Don't forget, it would have just been random ones. That's all you know of, and it was 50 years ago, 50 years ago, man. Saying do not touch. So everything in this room has been removed, but there's still photographs. Like my man's missing a thingy, man. Name of prisoner unknown. To this day, the museum is still not knowing exactly. It's the same thing in every room. It's the same thing. Name of prisoner unknown, because they were numbers. They were not people. When you come here, you changed. 20 years old, brother, 20 years old. 1977. The people that are above are an example. There were also many more prisoners detained in this room during the prison time. So that's what I'm talking about. That was just the documented ones. Imagine the ones that they just didn't give a fuck about. It happens. The number's meant to be much, much higher. Again, 19, male, 1978, 19 years old. 19 years old, sticking up, knowing what will happen to you if you do not follow the regime, and at 19 years old you say, no, I am with my country. What a man, what a man, what a man, honestly. For children to be here as well. In every room, I can't keep looking at them pictures, man. It's just like, name of prisoner unknown, you know what I mean? Like, it's just fucking cruelty, man. Ugh. Man, I've been to like other places and stuff, but that's just cruelty, man. Honestly, your own people, for what? For what? For what reason? To turn on your own people. I thought that fucking bench was there. So this building, I think, is the exact same. Oh, can I record in here? Yeah, I don't think it's a problem. Collect all the documents and other materials are scattered around the museum. For instance, in 2024, the museum's exhibition team conducted an excavation into the lives of the child victims under the Khmer Rouge, especially within 21. Our goal is to provide the public with a deeper understanding of the experiences of the children detained at S21, along with their family members who were subsequently brutally executed by the Khmer Rouge. The exhibition has the following objective: raise awareness for the Khmer Rouge history, especially incidents involving children. Encourage the younger generations to study and understand more deeply about the history of the Khmer Rouge in order with the goal of the genocide prevention. Recognise and promote the awareness of children's rights. Policies toward children. The Khmer Rouge consider children to be clean and like a white paper waiting to be written. So basically, manipulation. If you're a child, you can manipulate a child. Children could serve revolutionary purposes and defeat enemies, and they could easily be transformed into new people. It's true. It's true. The children are the most easily people to manipulate in the world. It's not hard to understand. So anyone who went against the ideology in order to prevent retaliation and to remain in power had to be executed. As a result of the implementation of such policies, Cambodians lost their fundamental rights, so there was no money, experienced extreme suffering, lost their lives due to forced overwork, malnutrition, lack of health care, medical care, treatment, arrests and detentions, as well as mass executions across the country. I think that's been put into place. 15 family members, including children, grandchildren, children-in-laws were killed at S21. So this was the family. The siblings, 7 people. Mr. Toik, Seng, Eng and the family. This was one family. Number 13. Number 13. That's number 1, 7, 4. Granddaughter, aged 4. Going on about the life in children. I can't read the life of the children, you know what I mean? I can't read about the life. I'm not even gonna fucking show I'm not like. Agricultural tools used for land clearing, digging dams and canals and other forms of agriculture, but it was also used to dig the put and kill people by the Khmer Rouge. So you would have to dig your own grave. Hand basket used for carrying soil fertilizers, wood carrier, normally with a tow, hood baskets to carry soil seeding, bundles of rice, fertilizer, grass for cows and buffaloes. Camel used to boil water, cook rice, spade used to dig holes, and sometimes the Khmer Rouge beat people to death. A plough. The plough used to the land by having the buffaloes to pull it, but the Khmer Rouge sometimes forced people to pull it instead of the animals. So this is a photograph of people digging their own graves, essentially. History of Christ. I can't read about like the death of children, like, you know what I mean? Ugh. I keep looking at the floor and I'm like, Brother, that is blood on the floor. That is not just me. I'm looking at, like, I keep looking down and I'm like, nah, sure, you know. But that definitely is. It's definitely stained. It's all the way up. It's all the way through. It's just like a little, see, it's all the way up, and I keep looking down and I'm like, there's no chance they've just left it there. It is. It's all over. Children without colour. Man, at that age. The last 4 children who survived, so I think there was eight people, 8 men and 4 children were the only people to survive this camp. 8 people and 4 men. And I think that's because, I'm gonna have to blur this bit out anyway because they've got no clothes on. But I think that was because they were one of the last people to be caught by the Khmer Rouge, if I do understand. The 4 children, the survivors of the S-21, among more than 18,000 victims, only 12, but it was like 2 million over the year span, only 12, including 4 children, so the 8 men, survived the last minutes. 2 or 3 days after the liberation, the army of the Cambodia United Front, together with the Vietnamese, discovered Security Officer 21 and rescued 4 children whom she spotted in a pile of victims' clothes. All of them were the final children. They currently live in Phnom Penh. The museum, however, does not have information about the other 2 children. This is where obviously we did the mass graves. They had to dig their own graves essentially. Motives behind the rest of the children. Obviously it's because victims detained in this prison, including former officials of the previous government, when the Khmer Rouge leaders accused their parents of relatives of being traitors, other members, including children, so your family, so if you were accused, your family was also accused. And you were considered an enemy. Most children were brought along their families, but they were not tortured or interrogated. Young children were instead killed instantly by the Khmer Rouge. However, physically fit children were sent to Prey Sar to be disciplined and later killed, based on Khmer Rouge policies, which required the eventual killing of all detainees. There we go. Let me go down and I'll show you what we... Man, that fucking children bit then set me off. I couldn't believe what I was listening to, or what I was looking at. They have not tried to hide anything. They've not hid anything. They've not hid anything away. They're showing you this is what our people went through. Look, understand, raise awareness, you know, because they must know that we don't know. Thanks. This exhibition could not be done without the support of the miniature culture and fine arts. Names of everybody. Temporary exhibition Memories is the result of the works of the artists. So some of these pictures are they are photographs, like not photographs, they are pictures that people have drew. But obviously, see what I mean with it? That is blood. So I'm at the top, yeah. All male. This must have been the male detention centre there. The above people are an example. There were also many more prisoners detained in this room during this time. Oh man. Oh, what a place, man. That children would set me off then, man. It's just fucking, it's just cruel, man, isn't it? Like, it's your own people as well. What a fucking weirdo. What a weirdo. Just an evil fuck. An evil bastard on the fucking Cambodian people. Some of the nicest people you can meet, honest to God. I know like people say like Thailand and stuff, but I have had nothing but like hospitality the last 6 weeks since I've been in, and I'm excited to live in this country. Today we're, I don't know how close I'm allowed to get. The latest estimate number of victims who died at S21 is 18,063. Of the victims, 8 children, 4 adults are known to have survived. From left to right, there's the names. A former guard at S21 who later became a prisoner himself is missing off the photograph. So they was like, yes, you have survived, you went against the regime, but you were still a part of the regime, so we're not putting you on this. You are not being glorified. You are not being known as a hero. I doubt any of them are alive today. They all look about in the 60s today. But they were the last 8 remaining people. And all this grass, all this shit, I doubt any of this was here. The previous courtyard between the buildings A and B, so that one there. Courtyard. The current location of 14 graves. Used to be a volleyball court of rope climbing. A former student of the Twelve Prey High School described that when we went to play rope climbing at a place during the semester exams, there was a gymnasium. During the Khmer Rouge, used the school site as a detention centre and turned sports pole into torture place. What I clearly saw was highlighted in my painting when you see the location of the wooden frames where the children used to climb. A prisoner. He was an artist, and the guards took him back, but he was not taken to his room. He was taken to a location that I described. I could see that he was put in a water jar. He was hung up there. If we talk about the rope was there permanently. Even a year after the liberation, it was still there. So, I don't even... So there was a rope that used to be on the school site and it was turned into torch, but then they'd like, say this was a pull-up bar, they just use it as like a torture place, clearly. So in there where I've just been, it was just literal pictures of people in mass graves with no clothes on, malnourished. That's all it was. There was no names, they just had the number like around the neck, and they just had the number. And it was just people in mass graves. It was just like, just dead people, just malnourished people just laying there, just photographed. Just like, this is what happens if you go against the regime. 18,000 people do not stay on the coconut tree. Oh fucking hell. Crazy. Did you know more coconuts kill more people each year than sharks? Did you know that? Fact. That's a fact of the day, but fucking that's not on this, is it? S21 was one out of the 196 prisons in the country. It was under the direct command of the Central Committee of the Communist Party of the Cambodia. Anyone taken to S21 was not to survive. They were the enemy of a revolution. A few foreigners, as well as a high number of the Khmer Rouge themselves, so people who went against the regime, so people who joined the regime thinking, like, not knowing, and then seeing what had happened, they were called traitors. And then their families and social networks were targeted too. More than 18,000 victims have been identified, but perhaps up to 20,000 men, women and children were killed at S21 and at Chuang Ek outside Phnom Penh. In 1979, S21 was converted into the museum. Ung Pech, survivor of S21, was appointed as director. There he is, the survivor. I can't imagine what he went through. Like, just going through it. It just covers a small part. At the beginning, the museum tried to retain not only the detention grounds of the transformer, but also relative surrounding area, including the former primary school, mass graves and houses in the special prison area. Unfortunately, over the years of the number of the population of the city is increasing, the museum is reduced to its current size. So this here is only small, but what they're saying is it was massive. But I can understand where you're coming from. You don't want a big like reminder of what happened to your mother and your father, your family, because it was only 50 years ago. All items of evidence from S21 prison site building, objects, documents are of great historic value. Since 2009, the archives have been registered. Marman. Is Marman here? Losing his wife and 4 children during the brutal Khmer Rouge regime and dragged blindfolded into prison. Only a handful survived. It was his skill as a mechanic that saved him when after 12 days and nights of beating and repeated electrocution, he was plucked from among the other prisoners to put to work for repairing the typewriters his torturers used to record their forced confessions. The fella sat over there, I don't really want to put him on the camera other than that. How can I say I would have behaved differently? Would have I had the strength to refuse to kill if the penalty death was my own? So what he's basically saying is, you cannot blame the people of the regime. You cannot blame the people of the regime, because if there was an officer behind you, so if you were in front of someone and you had to kill someone in front of you, you had to shoot them or torture them or hit them over the head with something, if you hesitated or you did not do that, the officer behind you would kill you. So how can you go against the regime knowing that the circumstances is your own death? This is what I'm saying. But when I seen the ages of the people that stood up, these barbed wires here, it's 3 stories high, these barbed wires were not to stop people escaping, it was to stop people from committing suicide. But the barbed wire was to prevent the people from actually committing suicide. It wasn't to prevent them from escaping. It was to prevent them from being tortured. Ground floor, single cell made of brick. Second floor, mass detention. The braid of barbed wire to prevent the desperation victims from committing suicide. Look at this, brother. I doubt even the windows were here. I don't know. But you were shackled in these rooms. You were shackled and chained. These things up here, I imagine, for the torture, would be where you wouldn't be able to lie down or sit down. You would have to stand and you would have to wait to be told what to do by the Khmer Rouge. S21. Wow, man. Yeah, so they would have been chained here, then the hands are chained and that, so they wouldn't have been able to lie down, sit down, and malnourished as well. And this cell, people, is like, it's no bigger than me. So I've just heard a tour guide say there, sometimes there was a hole in the floor and they built that themselves because when they were gassed, when they were killed, the mess, they would then have to be cleaned and obviously just go through the hole. And next victim in, as I said, the names were removed and they were just known as numbers. There were no names. And in most of the cells there is a hole in the floor. This is where obviously some of the rules must have been written and shit, man. Yeah, so see if something happened here. I imagine I'm going to go into a cell here and there's going to be a hole. And then there's a hole. This was built by them themselves. So when it got too dirty, say if there was blood everywhere, they would just wash it off. Just clean up, just get out. Put it outside. Put it there. These are the wooden ones. These are the wooden children. It was just locked in there, but I imagine there was many people. I imagine it was overcrowded. I don't reckon there would have just been like one person in a cell. They wouldn't have give a shit. See how it's all collapsing? It's all like on a slant. So they've not done any renovations. Apart from that and the light, I imagine. Look at this. Like, just here, living here. It's not even a fucking door. It's a hole in the wall. Do you reckon, like... Do you reckon the Cambodian people, that when they've took over, they've done that themselves as part of the museum rather than walking in and out? I'm not so sure. But there, top. And then there's, I imagine that's the brush. I think it's 1978 entry. So this was actually stop people from jumping off rather than being tortured. And look, it's right in the middle of the city. Why don't you fucking teach you this, man, in school? Floors are literally stained with blood, and like I said before, like brown, just stained. Like I said before, I'm not glorifying anything. This is for educational purposes only, just to raise awareness. And as you're seeing on the sign in the video, they are happy for you to film to raise awareness. This is why this is here. This is why they have not changed anything. So imagine if, like, when they come, like they weren't coming expecting to turn this into a museum, were they? Obviously not. They were coming to just sort it out, the same as everywhere. So like, imagine when they come, they must have cleaned up a bit. They must have done a bit. But still, the floors are just covered in blood. Four children who survived in the care of the Salvation Army front personnel. The tallest boy with his brother Nong Chen and the two babies. Photo 10. And they literally just babies. But I imagine when they realised the Vietnamese were invading, I imagine they just started executing people just quickly. And I imagine they were one of the last people to come. That would be my hypothesis, because if you come here, you're coming here to die anyway. And if everything, like, you'd want to get rid of evidence and stuff, wouldn't you? I don't know. This is exactly like the other room, but in this one you're allowed to photograph. But see, it's numbers, no names. They were the tools there. Shackles, spades that you used to dig your own grave and that they used to beat you to death. Instruments of torture. People, this is a painting and I can't even show you a picture of a painting. That's naughty though. Basically, there's the lashings, that would be the 10 lashings. Then there's like the poles that we use to hang the people. There's got a pot here where they would drown you. So you'd be chained up together there. Inside here would be water, and you would be chained inside with water inside, and you would just... I can't even show you the rest. I can't even show you any of this. In the next room you may see actual human remains, the victims' bones and skulls. Just no names. So here we want to be one of the mass graves, and I don't even know if I can show this, but it's basically just a big grave, and it's just bones and bodies and bones and bones and skulls everywhere. And it was only like one, that's one mass grave. Imagine how many there were. I think that's new. Permanent exhibition. I am here. Exhibition, storage, movie room, office, activity room. Oh, I think that's new. Here's like a little gift shop where they're selling all books, probably of like the Pol Pot, of the history. It just says Pol Pot, Pol Pot, Pol Pot, Cambodia, the facing the torturer. That's what it says. This basically is just a gift shop. Why have they got jewelry and shit? I want to buy something, but like something memorable, you know what I mean? I don't want to buy a fucking necklace. I understand the that it's a gift shop and we're in Asia, but I just... Really? Come on. Like, come on, sort it out. Don't forget, this is one of just nearly 200 prisons across the country, just one. So this must be like a little like graveyard memorial type for all the victims that they had done documents. Let's put a little flower down there. Never will we forget the crimes committed during the democratic Kampuchea regime. My man here was one of the only survivors. He must have been one of the children. It said he escaped during when the regime started to a factory. 3 years later he was sent to a security prison, and he was accused of being CIA or a KGB spy. He was tortured by a soldier's guard in the prison. He came in control. We invite you to join us. He shares his life story, so he, first hand, this man has witnessed everything. Hello. How much to buy a book?
$10.
$10? There you go.
Yeah, sign already.
Yeah, sign already?
Yeah.
Akun. Akun, mom. There we go. So, a signed book. Now, I'm not going to lie to you people. I probably won't read this. I'm not going to lie to you. I probably won't read this. I couldn't read it anyway, man, with the kids and that, man. It's just... The adults and all that, it's like one of them, you know. It's not one of them, but like just fucking children and that, man. You know what I mean? Just kids. That's... I'm gonna start going again. I can't keep going like a woman. But there he is, man. Chum Mey. He is one of these. Chum Mey. There's his signature there. Chum Mey's cell. And he's one of only the 8 survivors. So he must have been one of the children who survived, eh? He must have been one of the children. So we witnessed everything firsthand. Talk about PTSD, man. Chum Mey's room, survivor. That's his room. Moved from small cell to big cell. So that was his room, and he's moved from a small one to an even bigger one. Leaders of the Democratic Cambodia, Pol Pot and his brother, Deputy Prime Minister, Foreign Affairs. So he was kept alive, it says here. Chum Mey, above my life was spared when saying my interrogator had a prisoner carry this typewriter to me and asked me if I could fix it, but he was a mechanic. I said, brother, wait, let me have a look after I fix it. Sen put me to work as a mechanic and gave me food. This typewriter kept me alive until the Vietnamese and liberation troops came. Because of this typewriter, I've been able to tell millions of people at the bitter and most brutal operation of the Tuol Sleng prison. Father's name was Chum Mey, he's deceased. My mum is deceased. There were 8 children in my family, 2 brothers, 6 sisters who are deceased. Right, so this is the Genocide Museum. We are now going to go to the killing fields where there will be mass graves of people, of children, of women. They were forced to dig their own grave and then be put in. Imagine digging your own grave. What a place, man. That's going to be my memory. That's my memory. No, they ain't come back 10. But they ain't come back 10.
I tell you 15, I wait for you a long time. For 1 hour, 2 hours, you ever come back?
No, not 1 hour. It won't be that long. Like 20 minutes, brother.
How much you pay me?
20 minutes. Give me $10. To take me there and then come back my hotel.
$2 more.
$10. I'll give you a fucking $2. But hey, you eat, I eat. We go to eat.
Season.
I give you $10 and we go to eat. Okay? You want to eat?
No, I eat already.
You eat already? You've just asked me for $2 extra for food? Yes.
Sorry. Okay.
No worries,
I
brother.
need a water.
Yeah, whatever you want, whatever you want, sir. I need a bit of air conditioning. If that, I need to sit inside, but the air conditioning makes it. I'm very hot. Oh, I'm gonna get myself a little iced coffee and then maybe a little something. Mate, one of them litres of bottles of water to do me good as well. But this man now is going to take me there, he's going to wait for me. He said an hour, 2 hours, but I don't think I'm going to spend that long, you know what I mean? How much I owe you? How much?
26,000.
26,000. Kun bong. I'm not fucking eating. I'm not sat there eating in front of a fucking war museum, mate. You're mad. Right, this water's for me. Seeing this little Can you open for me, please, sir? Can I open? Can you open? Okay. Open, please, yes. It says coconut ginger. $3 for that, man. $3. Akun. Coconut, lime and ginger probiotic. Sparkling. That tastes like shit. Well, mom on there, brother.
Okay.
What about you? Preying on the vulnerable? You're coming out and then you're like,
Okay.
sir, do you know anybody who was part of, do you know in your family?
My family first died 3 people. My father.
Your father?
My uncle. My brother cousin.
What about your mother? Your mother, no?
But not here. I'm born at 100 kilometers from.
Oh, so your mother was too far away. Okay, this is good. But your father and your brother, yes?
Small.
Very. How old are you?
48.
Oh, so you wasn't. Yeah, little. Fucking hell, see, it was that long. It was that short time ago.
Where you come from, sir?
England, sir. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you. Lovely,
Lovely jubbly. Everyone's saying daily vlogs, daily vlogs, daily vlogs. With traveling and stuff, it's not daily, people, and that. It's not practical every day. It's just not. So there's gonna be like a vlog every 2, 3, 4 days. Okay, so just so you know. People, it's the capital, it's the biggest city in Cambodia, and it's so, like, say, underdeveloped. But at the same time, it's not. It's mad. It's basically just business. But when I first come in, even I was like I come here with the intention of getting a visa, and even I was like, I live in here. But do not judge the country on Phnom Penh itself, people. Don't come into here to Cambodia, just go to Phnom Penh and think this is a boring place. Go somewhere else. Adventure out, man. Go to north, go to Siem Reap, go to the south where I'm going to go, where I'm going to show you the next few videos. Camp Pot, the islands, Khmer Rouge, stuff like that, you know. Go to Angkor Wat, that's in Siem Reap. These other parts of the country, I'd say Phnom Penh is the business district. I really, really would, and it's underdeveloped and stuff, but I'd say it's more for business, because there is not much to do here, if I'm going to be honest. There isn't. There really isn't. They haven't reached that level of tourism yet. But don't judge the country on Phnom Penh. If you want to travel Cambodia, I would say start here. I would say do that first. I would say get a real thing of the Cambodian people so you can see what they've gone through. And then yeah, I would basically just go to Siem Reap, or go north or go south where I'm going to Khmer Rouge, the islands and stuff. And then from there, we're going to go from Khmer Rouge, we're going to go into Vietnam to Phu Quoc, am I saying that right? And then from there, we're going to Ho Chi Minh. And if you're a regular viewer on this channel, I broke my collarbone in Vietnam. And I finished the journey in Da Nang. I was meant to drive from Hanoi to Ho Chi Minh. I was in hospital. It was only meant to take about 2-3 weeks. I was there for 2 months, and I was like, mate, I got off from Da Nang, it was flooded, my bike broke, and then my collarbone, I was in a sling. I just didn't want to do it. I didn't want to do it. I had enough. But it's been on my mind ever since that's been on my mind. So I'm going from Phu Quoc to get a flight from there straight to Da Nang. I'm going to buy another motorcycle, and we are going to finish the Vietnam trip. I'm going to finish it, because that has been on my mind for a while. But do not come to Cambodia and just judge the country on Phnom Penh, because to be honest, people, even I wouldn't live here. See how I said it's more of a business district? That sign at the bottom is in Chinese, and the one above it is in Khmer, their language. I speak English, brother. Dutch, Polish, English? Yeah, man. What? Owner of restaurant? Oh.
Yeah, here, the killing field.
This is the killing fields?
Yeah.
Okay, can I keep this here?
Yeah, you can keep.
Just look after here, okay. No drone zone, please, just modesty. No exposed back. Sir, can I wear shorts?
Yeah, you can. Yeah, just ask.
Is it okay? Okay, thank you very much. Same here, there's an audio tour. 19 stops of the killing fields. And it's in every language that you can see. Without the audio, please. Yeah. $3? Okay, there you go. Alright. So yeah, you can get your audio. Here's the map. So here's the entrance, here we are now. The museum to the right. And then these little dots, I imagine, are the mass graves. Shop office, so we want to go right. So in there, you weren't allowed to take pictures, but it basically said Pol Pot, who was the leader he was the main leader, the brother #1. He died in his house. I'm not quite sure how, and it said by his comrade. So it didn't say if he was murdered. it just said he died under arrest house. So I'm not too sure. But there was 4 other main commanders and the 4 other main people who were involved who tried to escape, and they were all captured. They were all sentenced to trial, and they all died. They were raised in trial for years, and they said they apologised for the crimes against humanity. They were charged on various crimes, and basically they just tried to put Cambodia just back to the Stone Age, just memorials and like museums, books, everything were burnt. They just tried to take Cambodia back to the Stone Age and follow the regime. Now they said there's a tree somewhere with like bands all over it, where they smash the babies' heads against the tree. They say babies are no use, babies are useless. We do not have the time to nurture for them. But young children will actually like converted, you know, because like I said, it's easy to manipulate a child. So the young children, but like if you were a baby and that, you would die immediately on arrival. But they all had detention. Pol Pot was cremated near the Thai border, and the other, I think it said the other 4 who fled, the other leaders of the regime, they were all arrested, they were all charged, public trial. Can I go this way? Yeah, it's okay. Yeah, okay. I couldn't. They were all charged. Public testimonies, witness trials, everything come out. Before 1975, this killing field was the orchard of a Longan tree and Chinese cemetery. So like this it says with mass graves in there. Then it said there was just piles. They said this whole thing was just mass graves, dug up. They said they found graves, over like 100 graves, and they didn't find one skull. They found graves of all bones, bodies, but they didn't find skulls. And just women next to children, where obviously they've been laid with the children and stuff like that. Yeah, but Pol Pot eventually died. The others were arrested and charged, put in a public trial. Yeah, because they must have tried to escape to like the Thai border, but it's crazy. This is all like just one big cemetery, basically. That's all it is, just one big cemetery. There was numerous ways of torture. Yeah, man. Madness. He tried to just erase his population. He didn't carry out his regime. For what? Like, for what purpose? Why would you carry out your whole country for not following a regime that didn't make sense? That's not going to better your country. That's not going to better your civilization. To wipe your own people out. Why would you do this? You know what I mean? Normally it's a leader of a country and he manipulates his country and then they go to war. That's what normally happens in war. He manipulates the country. He tells the country that they've done this, they've done that, and then them country are like, right, now we have to fight back. But to be a leader of your own country and try wipe out the population is mental. Do you not think? Like, your own people, the people who are going to protect you, and you're just wiping them out. Your own, very own people. Crazy, but everybody, the main people, I think there were 6 main people, they all died, and Pol Pot died in his house. It said next to his like main and commanding officer, Tao Muk, I'm sure that was the name of the museum as well. So he must have been an order of the museum, but he said they all got captured. They got public trials. But like, what a nutter. Why would you try and wipe out your own people? I get why you people invade countries and that, of course. I get why wars happen. But why would you? As like, it just, to me it doesn't make sense. Why are you going against your own people? Like my man said, his mother was born outside of the city. So like it must have just been like just trying to expand, and then the Vietnamese were like, we've got to put a stop to this. And for like after the Vietnamese war, for then to them to be like, right, now we've got to do this, we've got to help this country. He's mad. It's fucking crazy, yeah. The killing fields. It said to have been a lot bigger, but obviously they've shortened it for tourism and stuff like that. Yeah, and it's just it was just mass graves on graves. I'm currently walking around the lake. I wish I could tell you what that lake does. Hello, sir. Do you know the reason behind this lake?
I don't know, sir.
You don't know? Yeah. Same as me. Nice to meet you, brother.
Nice to meet you.
No, I think he was also just wandering. But every tree has a number on it. Hey, look, every tree has a number on it. See? So do you reckon like that was grave number this, grave number that, grave number this, do you reckon? But every single tree has a number underneath it, or on it, painted on it. See? Here's the number of the tree there. Number 285. The conservation dike. This dike was constructed in 2000 to be used as a conservation facility to prevent destruction of excavated mass graves from floods. Oh! See, these were all mass graves. See how it's like all thingy, like bump, bump, bump. These were all mass graves and to prevent them from floods. It's good how like they've like, you know, if a genocide like that happened these days, they'd want to wipe it out, they'd want nothing to do with it, they'd be like, forget about it, don't speak about it, do you know what I mean? But it's good that they're actually like, come here, please, do you know what I mean? It's good. But the pieces of bones remaining after the excavation. These were all mass graves. Do not pick up any remains or artifacts without permission. Just bones, like I said. Some of the graves they found didn't even have skulls. How mad is that? To find mass graves with no skulls. Flowers, please, sir. One flower, 2,000.
How many flowers?
I just have 2 flowers, please, sir. I have 5,000 here. Yeah, 5,000.
Would you like incense stick?
How much is incense?
How many would you want?
1. How much is this? How much is an incense stick?
It's enough your money.
Enough? Okay, 2 flowers and an incense stick. It says, kindly show your respect to many million people who were killed under the genocide of Pol Pot regime. Akun, wrong, Akun. That hole. Take off my shoes, bed. Okay. Apologise. Please do not open this door. Just bent my hand on the other one. How old are you, sir?
I was born after 44 years.
You're 44?
Yeah.
Do you have family who were affected by the regime?
Yeah,
Okay.
but not here.
Not here?
At the Khmer Rouge.
Different province? Yeah.
100 kilometers.
100 kilometer, but your family was still affected, of course, because it was only 50 years. Wow. Akumbong. Have a good day, sir. Your stupa was built by the Cambodian government in 1988 to preserve the skeletons and honour the memory of the victims who were killed in the killing fields. 17 tiers. The ground floor of the victim closed. First to 9 full skulls, 10th to 17 different types of bones, including collarbones. I know a lot of people were going to think I was going to say something about Vietnam then, but I was just like, fucking hell, that's not really like, it's not really appropriate, is it, Callan? Chill out. Look at that, lad. The tree which the extermination smashed the children's heads against it. So like, instead of just killing the children, just smashed their head against the tree. And obviously they were just thrown into there. The mass grave. More than 100 victims, children and women. Majority were naked. Like a child's head. It's unimaginable, isn't it? Like, I know it's a regime and that, but like a small child, for someone to say, sir, eat his head until he like shuts up. I feel like my hat's disrespectful. I feel like filming's fucking disrespectful, people, honestly. I don't have anything. I have a band, CallanBowlL, because I'll get into that in another story, but I don't really have like a next of kin people, do you know what I mean? I don't really have any identification if something ever happened to me while I was out. So this is like kind of this is who I am, this is my identification, but I have nothing else to give. And obviously half of these people were unidentified anyway. No, they were just numbers, you know, statistics. The people who come here lost their identification, of course. And there we go. That's all I have to give. After mass graves were excavated in 1980, the left underground rage of victim clothes come up after raining, and we collected them all to keep them. It's like any bits of clothing you see around that are like put over certain trees and stuff like that are the victim's clothes, which, as you can tell, they weren't many because it said half of them are naked, most of them. Mass grave of 166 victims without heads. Against your own fucking people, man. Traitor. That's what he is. He's like monks. Just die. Hello. I thought like monks couldn't talk, like, you know, like some take a vow of silence, but like the ones here get selfies and that. One asked yesterday for a picture of me when I was walking around with the camera. He said, can I get a photo? I said, sure. I'll put it up now, I'll show you. Crazy. To be behind like that, smiling. See stuff like this, people? Some of the graves were actually underground. Like, until they decided to get rid of them, to obviously, you come here to die, it's a killing field. This is where you die. So, like, they were kept underground, malnourished, no food, nothing, just underground. And like, so I imagine this is where like they removed the top and they just threw them all in. And you can see them all around when you're walking around. See, there's one here as well. There's one here. It was just darkness, just darkness. Imagine just awaiting death. Chemical substance storage room. So it was a storage room of substance. They were scattered over their dead bodies. Once executed, had two purposes. Firstly, to eliminate the stench from the dead bodies, which could potentially raise suspicion among people working by the killing field. And secondly, was to kill off victims who were still alive. The chemical storage room was lost in 1979. So there's fragments here. There's a folding knife in there, a piece of foot shackle, a sandal of a Khmer Rouge shoulder, a metal necklace, and fragments of the ceramic bowl of the powder that they used. So like I said, when the invasion, they must have just started to get rid of everything. They were like, abolish. I'm sure that's what happened with Auschwitz and that. That's why like half of it got destroyed, because they were just like, right, let's get rid of all the evidence. Before 1975, the site served as a Chinese Khmer cemetery. This kiosk function was for storing coffins, for making offerings to spirits before the deceased were finally buried in tomb. Here it was the place where executioners stationed and worked permanently. The officers, as well as the killing field, were equipped with electric power, which enabled them to conduct executions and to read and sign the rosters that accompanied the victims to the site at the night time. And if they didn't follow the regime, then one of your friends, one of your soldiers, one of your companions, they'd have no mercy for you, of course, because then they would be shot. It's just a vicious cycle. Here it's a place where victims were transported from S21, where we have just been, other places in the country. Usually when the truck arrived, the victims were executed immediately. Some days the number of victims to be executed was increased up to 300 per day. Failed an attempt to kill them a day, that is why they were detained for executions on the next day. The detention was constructed from steel roof. Its wall was also built with 2 layers of flat wood to darken and also prevent prisoners from seeing each other. Unfortunately, the dark layer detention was dismantled in 1979, obviously when the Vietnamese must have took over. That can't have been like one of the graves, surely not, like one of the underground ones. I can't say for sure, I'm unsure myself. The truck would arrive with 2 or 3 times a month. Each truck held 20 to 30 frightened, blindfolded and silent prisoners. When the truck arrived, the victims were led directly to be executed or sent to the dark and gloomy prison nearby. After January 07, 1979, 1 truck remained, but it has been taken away. The rest are just destroyed today. That is where the skull is. So this is obviously the last part, and there's a gift shop and that over there, but we don't need to go to there, do we? But see this here, this is number 19 on your headphones. This is number 19, so you walk around. So this must have been it. This must have been like a pit, you know, either a grave or a waiting death. Oh no, what a day, man. Like, see, surely not. Never will we forget the crimes committed during the democratic Cambodia regime. It lasted for 4 years, just under 4 years. 17th of the 4th, 1975 to the 7th of the 1st, 1979. And that, people, is one of the worst genocides in recent times, or maybe in history, you know? For someone to go against your own people, I've never heard of that. I've never heard of anyone going against their own people. That to me is psychotic. It's evil. Like fucking tree man with the baby's head smashed. That is it's pure evil is what it is. It's pure psychotic. It's pure psychotic. It's just mad. They should teach this shit, man. Honest to God, they should teach this. I'm sure every like Asian person knows about this, but like we don't know anything about this. Everything today I've learned today. Everything. But hopefully when you can come to Phnom Penh now, you can come here, you can show your respects, and maybe this can give you an understanding more of the Khmer people. Cambodian people are some of the nicest people you will ever meet in your life. I know everyone says Thais doing stuff like that, but they're some of the nicest people, man, I'm telling you. I've never felt more welcomed in a place where I don't know, it's hard to explain, man. There's not that much tourism here as other Asian countries, Vietnam, Thailand, China and stuff like that. But I've still never felt more welcome. The people have still never seemed more happier, even though the last generation were all executed. What a place, eh? Anyway, people, the vlogs like this is the first informative vlog I've ever done, and it's brought out a different side to me. It's opened my eyes a bit as well about where the place I'm going to live. I'm so glad I've done this, man, because I was going to skip it and I weren't even going to video it, but I'm glad I did. Hopefully you learned something from this. Hopefully I could teach you something about history of the Cambodian Khmer history. Okay, people, so anyway, God bless, man.